Good morning, I'm Neva Manu, and this is your morning news fix for Thursday, 21st of May. In this update, the Union for Corrections Workers is raising the alarm about corruption following the arrest of 14 staff at Auckland prisons yesterday. Court documents show 12 people are charged with accepting bribes. Some are also charged with conspiring to supply a Class A drug, namely methamphetamine, to prisoners. Corrections Association President Floyd du Plessis is frustrated the body's long-standing concerns have not been addressed, and he says it's a shocking reminder of what can happen when an organisation doesn't do more to prevent corruption. Marlborough Police are seeking answers after an infant was found dead on a roadside in Blenheim. Police were called to Waido Bar Road on Tuesday afternoon after a machinery operator discovered the baby. Area Commander Inspector Simon Faltham says that officers are investigating how the baby came to be there, and he says they're extremely concerned for the welfare of the infant's family and want to speak to them as urgently as possible and offer support. A suggestion there's merit to doing a stocktake of our regulatory landscape. A first-of-its-kind report finds close to 270 organisations are carrying out regulatory functions that often overlap and do the same things. New Zealand Initiative Chair Roger Partridge says we used to have one of the best regulatory systems in the OECD, but it's become too hodgepodge. He says we need to better understand the system before determining exactly who should do what. A members' bill aiming to define the term woman and man in law has passed its first reading in Parliament. The New Zealand First Bill aims to define the terms woman and man in law. National and ACT have agreed to support it to select committee. Former Cuban President Raul Castro has been indicted in the US on murder charges. They relate to a 1996 Cuban military attack on 2 civilian jets operated by Cuban exiles in which 4 people died. 94-year-old Raul Castro was last seen in public earlier this month. The Transport Minister says New Zealand has no plans to follow Australia and crack down on e-bikes and scooters just yet. In Queensland, authorities are introducing reforms that include a minimum age, expanded police powers, greater fines and speed limits on footpaths. Chris Bishop says that the government's looking at letting riders use cycle lanes, which many already do. A Herald investigation using a speed gun clocked e-bikes and e-scooters travelling at up to 53 kilometres an hour on Auckland's Northwestern Cycleway. A teenager was hospitalised earlier this month after crashing a high-powered electric dirt bike into a Newmarket shop. In sport, Breakers basketball general manager Dylan Boucher is celebrating signing World Cup winning coach Gordon Herbert to lead the ANBL side on a 2-year deal. Outside back Will Jordan will make a conditional return from injury for the Crusaders in Friday's Super Rugby match with the Chiefs at Christchurch. Southampton's appealing their expulsion from football's championship playoff final, often labelled the richest match in the sport, because they claim the punishment bears no proportion to the offence of spying on opponents. I'm Neva Manu, and that's your latest news fix. We'll be back with the next update at midday from the Newstalk ZB newsroom.